I'm going to begin, guys, by just asking, this is a really tough and intense watch. It's not an easy film to sit through at all, but why do you think this is an important one? Why do you think this is a film that people should go and see?
I think at the end of the day, it inspires hope, and in a day and age where we unfortunately have politicians and leaders across the world, driving wedges between us and capitalising on our differences. Here's a film, here's a story really of everyday heroes who were forced to set aside their differences because at the end of the day, bullets don't discriminate, and when we're faced with these horrific ordeals, we're all in it together. So we have to set aside our religious and ethnic, any background, socioeconomic divides. All of those melt away, and you're forced to band together to survive.
Yeah, but were there any moments you think that were just sort of too much, almost too real on set? Were there any moments during the whole shooting that just felt a bit overwhelming?
The film is incredibly intense, and there's lots of violence in it. It's true. It's a huge emotional experience watching the film, and it's quite brutal. The violence is real, but in the end, I hope that audiences take away the same thing that made us want to do the thing in the first place, which is this real life story that is inspirational. I mean, there were something like 1,500 guests in the hotel, and 32 people died there, half of them being staff, and the fact that the rest of them got out is a tribute to the incredible behaviour and generosity and quiet courage, humble courage of the people who were there. And so I don't know if it's a hard film to watch. I mean, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
But in the end, there's no point making a film that depresses people. I think you should leave feeling hopeful about human nature, and that these lies we're told about how separate we are and how everybody would scramble over each other in the event of an emergency to get to exit doors, that's actually not what human beings do, and it's not what happened there.
I also think it's important to, jolt people out of their comfort zones and force them to sort of, hold a mirror up against, hold a mirror up and look at themselves and their reflections and see, sometimes the worst in humanity can bring out the very best in us. And I think that experience and the impact that the film has is sometimes just awakening.
So why did we go and see Hamlet or Titus Andronicus or any of the great big, Greek tragedies, Shakespearean tragedies? It's a big cathartic experience, and you take something away from it about how to behave yourself and maybe a bit of hope in how you might behave yourself.
In real life, I mean, you're both very sort of vocal about politics and sort of an activism. I'm just wondering, how important do you think it is for people with a kind of a platform and a kind of following to, especially in times like this, to use that to try and make a difference?
I actually just recently wrote a piece about this, and I'm very passionate about. I think it's very important for people in the public eye or with a platform to speak from a place of knowledge, not just to speak. To randomly stand on a pulpit and preach is not the right thing to do. But if you, I think, are well versed and educated on something, and you really take the time to learn about it and have a nuanced opinion, then we're all citizens. It doesn't matter what our occupation is. We should be able to give an opinion and share our viewpoint, and hopefully just start a conversation, because that's what it's about. It's not about preaching. It's about starting a conversation.
Well, primarily, the best way to reach people is through fiction and through storytelling. We've always gathered around fireplaces, and that's why stories like this have an inspirational message about humankind in the face of all the toxic lies we're told about what human nature is. I personally use my platform a bit to let off steam, and the value in it, I've no idea. If in my dreams, my fantasies, I can drive people to do something useful, like vote or drive people to vote or campaign for legislation. But even if it's only giving solace to people who are lone voices surrounded by the opposite voices, that has some use. And also, no one has to listen.
My final question is, sorry to make you blush, Jason, but you've referred to Jason as one of the best actors alive and truly a genius. I read that. What was it about him that made you enjoy the...
No, that's a ridiculous...
Do you want to block your ears?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna gush a bit.
I was going to say, what was it about the collaboration that made you say that? And secondly, how much did he pay you to say that?
He paid me a handsome amount. I had never met Jason. His name came up. I'd already been cast, and his name came up, and I was so excited that he would play Vasily, because I have majority of my scenes, actually, even though Armie plays my husband, are with Jason. I just was thrilled.
Oh,
I've
just
been a-
stop.
I've been
Just
a fan.
stop
No,
now.
I was a big fan. Stop it.
She's
You need to
amazing
stop
in the
it.
film.
No,
How nauseating is
I
she's
was-
amazing.
No, I've been a big fan of his, so I obviously was. And I remember everybody was teasing me before he got to set because they're like, he's coming. How excited are you that he's coming? And did I ever give that away while we were filming? How much of
No,
a
you
fan
were a
I
total
was?
bitch.
That's not true.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, but I am obviously he's exceptional.
They're amazing parts, only because it's an amazing story, and we try to get our own egos out of the way of that.
Yeah.
And everybody does extraordinary work on screen because the real life people we're playing did extraordinary things on the night. Let's leave it there.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Cheers.
Thanks a lot.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,